Week 1 was crazy. One of the disciples, Max, was already here. Madison and I moved in, and then we had about 6 other disciples moved in. So the sisters occupied our guest room. The brothers are up in our bonus room in the attic. And it just became family so quickly. All of us eating meals together, cooking in the kitchen together.
Amy, did you just move into the household?
I literally just got here like 20 minutes ago. Just unloaded.
One word to describe the city and the house: beautiful. Yeah.
It was really awesome driving in.
Yep.
Like, how many hours a day were you driving?
First 2 were like 6 or 7, but then in the last 2 I was like, forget it, and I just kept going. 10-hour days.
We could really feel the love. We could really feel people's hearts for God. I mean, moving all the way across the country to land in Bend, Oregon, to show up with all of their stuff packed in their car, and then to unload all of that stuff into our garage. It's quite the adventure.
I'm Hannah Graham, and I just moved up here from Knoxville, Tennessee. So I really wanted to be a part of a church planting, move back up to the Northwest, and just be a part of a new model of a house church. It was all my belongings that I packed. I'm surprised it fit in my car, but it did. For the first couple of days, I actually couldn't see through my rearview mirror because everything was so stuffed in there, but it all made it here. If you're thinking about moving out on a mission team, I would say go for it. Maybe bring a little bit less stuff, but bring what you need. So yeah, I showed up and everyone at the house greeted me. We all just hung out, had a great time. Everyone was living in this house, but there was a family here who took me and another sister in for about a week and a half until we just moved into our apartment.
Right around that time, I was talking to another disciple and they said, hey, there's this church planting you should know about. Because Joey's offering this media internship and it's also a church planting. And they thought it would be a good way for me to mix my own interests and pursuits with the kingdom. And so I read the article and I talked to Joey and I was like, I don't want to go back to school, but I want to learn these things. Where better to learn than from, disciples, and what better to do than to give my life over to God while I'm, trying to do that.
What got me interested in going out to Bend was that there's also going to be a media team. I guess the project I'm most excited for is we're going to actually kind of film the whole year and turn our experience of planting this church into a documentary for other disciples to see and be encouraged by and to learn from if they're considering planting a church. A lot of the work we need to do for the kingdom requires growth, initial growth before we step out, and a lot of that growth needs to happen away from home. And so it's just an outward expression that, we have faith. It was a huge relief to come into Bend. Honestly, the trip was harder than I thought it was going to be, a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be. So it kind of added a sense of relief to finally be at a place I'm going to call home.
We are in Bend.
It is on your right.
Hey, there's Max's car. For me, it really feels exciting to go to Bend, to go back to that small setting. When I first got baptized, I didn't have a church building to attend service at either, and so this feels like home. This feels familiar. It's easy for me to see and feel and spread the love in the Bend mission team. So I'm just really excited to see God work through me, grow my faith, and see what happens with the team.
God put it on my heart, and then I think it was like, I knew that I had wanted to do it, but I didn't know where. So I began the where should I go process? And I actually came to Eugene maybe like 2-3 years ago because one of my best friends came out here to do the 1-year challenge. And he, ever since he got here, he's like, oh, you got to come out and do it. And I just said, okay. And then eventually I did. And this place, I am so in love with how beautiful this place is. And it's actually something Kelly said when I was here 2 years ago. I was like, I want to go, I'm just not ready. I can't just uproot everything that I have and just go. And he's like, oh yeah, kind of like everyone else that's come over here. And I was like, dang, he's right. It's sometimes it is you just have to take that first step.
We got our Bible discussions going downtown. We started using the Meetup app, and I'm really excited for the media interns. We have AJ, Hannah, and Lewis who came over with their cameras, their videography skills. So we're really looking forward to producing more content for you guys to show you what it's like to have a bunch of people move in from all over the country into a small town to plant a small house church. That's part 1, just everyone moving here on the mission team. And for part 2, I hope that we can bring you a glimpse of how we impact the community, how we begin sharing our faith, meeting people in the community, and making an impact for God.